Hello everyone, my name is Joel Vig, and to all my friends in Columbus, Mississippi, I have to say I will not be coming to the Columbus, Mississippi Tennessee Williams Festival this year in 2020 because the festival can't happen this year in 2020 due to the pandemic, and no one is more disappointed than I am. But I'm very much looking forward to coming next year in 2021 and I'm working on a new piece that will be done at that time that I'll be performing with Chelsea Petty. At a time like this, I think back to the very first time I ever came to Columbus with my very good friend Patricia Neal. One of Patricia Neal's favorite quotes I'd like to share with you now because I think that it really applies to what we're living through. The arts do live continuously, and they live literally by faith. Their names and their shapes and their uses and their basic meanings survive unchanged in all that matters through times of interruption, diminishment, neglect. They outlive governments and creeds and societies, even the very civilizations that produced them. They cannot be destroyed altogether because they represent the substance of faith and the only reality. They are what we find again when the ruins are cleared away. That quote was by Catherine Ann Porter, and I think it applies so much to the very difficult times we're living through right now. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the piece that I am writing, that I will be performing next year in 2021. It's called Mama Bones, which is a quote that Tennessee Williams had about how black people told him that when they could see something or smell something or hear something that reminded them so much of their mother, they were experiencing mama bones. I'm remembering a quote from The Glass Menagerie, and I'd like to read it for you now. It comes at the end of the play, and Tom Wingfield is the one who says this quote. It goes, "I didn't go to the moon, I went much further, for time is the longest distance between two places. Not long after that, I was fired for writing a poem on the lid of a shoebox. I left St. Louis, I descended the steps of the fire escape for the last time, and followed from then on in my father's footsteps, attempting to find in motion what was lost in space. I traveled around a great deal. The cities swept about me like dead leaves, leaves that were brightly colored but torn away from their branches. I would have stopped, but I was pursued by something. It always came upon me unaware, taking me altogether by surprise. Perhaps it was a familiar bit of music. Perhaps it was only a piece of transparent glass. Perhaps I am walking along a street at night in some strange city before I have found companions. I pass the lighted window of a shop where perfume is sold. The window is filled with pieces of colored glass, tiny transparent bottles in delicate colors like bits of a shattered rainbow. Then all at once my sister touches my shoulder. I turn around and look into her eyes. "Oh, Laura, Laura, I tried to leave you behind me, but I am more faithful than I intended to be." I reach for a cigarette. I cross the street. I run into the movies or a bar. I buy a drink. I speak to the nearest stranger. Anything that can blow your candles out. But nowadays the world is lit by lightning. Blow out your candles, Laura, and so goodbye. That particular speech leads people to believe that Tom Wingfield, who's basically a stand-in for Tom Williams, or Tennessee Williams, abandoned his mother and his sister and tripped the light fantastic. Nothing could be further from the truth. Tennessee Williams became famous, but completely remained in the lives of both his mother and his sister, and they both were great inspirations for both his life and his writings. And so in the piece that I'm working on, called Mama Bones, I will be exploring the relationship between Tennessee Williams and his mother, Edwina Williams, that lasted until she died at the very old age of 95. I hope you can come to see it in 2021 at the Columbus Tennessee Williams Festival. I look forward to seeing you then. Stay well, stay safe, and bye for now.